Now here's a video that I honestly didn't expect to be making quite so soon. And I was getting pretty close to the point where I was starting to give up hope, because nothing I had done with the help of anyone here on YouTube had done any good toward getting this thing going again. This is the Sony mini disc player that I've been going round and round with. I'm sure to all of my subscribers' delight. I'm sure you'd like to see a video about something else. But first things first, I'd like to give a sincere thank you to everybody who helped out with this by offering comments and reassurance and things like that, but especially YouTube user The Tech Knight for taking the time and the effort to talk me through how this circuit worked and to help me make tests on it, and also YouTube user NCR Disabled, who stepped in just probably not more than an hour, 2 hours ago with an offer to look at the service manual and see what he could find. And I'm indebted to both of them for their help, as well as everyone else who made a comment. But check this out. I'm going to plug this thing in. And look at that, folks. That stupid display is working now. And here's the funny thing. After replacing all those parts on the power supply, I didn't do a darn thing to it other than take it apart once again. I was going to test this ribbon cable for short circuits and see if I could find any that might be messing it up, because I noticed I did a test with the front panel entirely disconnected after tracing the circuit board. I'd already traced the front panel once, didn't find any shorts or opens or breaks or anything like that. So I thought, well, you know, I'm going to trace the main board. And I didn't find anything on the main board either. And I was back in touch with YouTube user The Tech Knight, as well as NCR Disabled. And then I decided, you know, the one thing I haven't checked is this ribbon cable. I haven't checked it to see if there are any shorts or opens in it. But I did notice when I had the unit powered without the front panel hooked up that I had the proper AC voltages for the filaments here, which I don't think you can really see. But there they are. They are in there. They're little faint lines. Anyway, I discovered that with the front panel gone, I had the right voltages going to the two AC voltage pins going to the display filaments. And so it really didn't make sense. I put it back together, plugged it in, and all of a sudden the display starts blinking standby. And I just about fell off my chair. So now I've got to go ahead and put this thing all the way back together and see if it'll survive being put back together. I've fiddled around with it a little bit, and I can't phase that display, so I'm going to say I don't know what did it. I don't know if it realized that I might be getting dangerously close to taking this thing outside and having at it with a baseball bat. And I'm just kidding on that, well, mostly anyway. Or what happened, but it's definitely working now, and I am just absolutely elated. And it's still working even after I got it put back together. So I'm definitely hopeful. Now some of you asked for a demonstration of this thing, so now that it's back together and the display is working, let's go ahead and give it a try. Now, when you go to start this thing up, it takes the disc in a very interesting way. Normally you'd think that the shutter side would be forward, but in this case actually goes in facing that way. You certainly ought to say welcome. And then it proceeds to analyze the disc, and if it's never been used before, it gets it ready to be used. And now to go ahead and try recording some music. It was working so well. And then toward the end of my recording session, the stupid display went out again. Look what I found here. There's this jumper at the edge of the circuit board, and I really should have noticed this. One side's soldered, the other side sure isn't. And sure enough, that seems to be enough to screw it up. The fun just keeps on continuing with the bad solder joints in this thing. But this implies at least that this thing's display couldn't have worked right from the factory. Unless, of course, it was repaired at some point in its life. Huh, just amazing. Alrighty, let's try this again now. Let this thing sit and run just now for about 45 minutes, and the display hasn't gone out. Sensible people are in bed this time of night, but I guess I'm not a sensible person. Anyway, to hopefully bring this whole saga to a close, let's go ahead and have a little demonstration of this. I'll have to keep it brief so I don't get kneecapped by the music mafia. There it displays the title on the disc. You can actually input a title through this thing's front panel controls. And making recordings actually works a lot like a tape recorder does, only you've got some extra switches here. You can choose between stereo and monophonic recording modes, and you can choose between the optical digital input and the conventional analog input. There's a volume control down there for the headphones. This thing has some basic editing functions built in, stuff like that. And then of course there is that cursed display. So let's go ahead and give this thing just a quick little listen here. I got to keep it kind of quiet because it's so late at night, and Furhead and the Keykeeper and everybody else, sensible people, are already asleep. So let's go ahead and try this here. Pay attention, you'll notice I wasn't all that careful in making sure that everything was set to approximately the same recording level. Some of these are much louder than others.
It would take more than a pack of wild horses pulling your wagon to keep you from me. It would take more than superior.
I know a dark, secluded place, a place where no one knows your face, a glass of wine, a fast embrace. It's called Hernando's Hideaway. Oh, late. All across the South, got the boogie band that sounds so fine. And on both coasts, they got the record cutting machine, turning out hits.
You can see there's punctuation support in the display and stuff. I'm told that this unit will also display Japanese characters if you have a way of inputting them.
Night breezes seem to whisper
Seems the love I've known has always been the most destructive kind. Guess that's why now I feel so old before my time. Yesterday, when I was young,
yeah, my musical tastes are pretty wide-ranging. Got no better explanation for that. There you have it. And of course, when it stopped, it tells you how many tracks there are, how long the total run is. It looks like I used about half the mini disc. This is an 80-minute disc. And then over here, the music calendar indicates how many tracks you've got on your mini disc. And then it ejects it for you, and you can go ahead and shut it off. And that's the only time I've been happy to see that display go out. So there you have it, and thank you for watching. Hopefully that'll be the last installment on this thing for a good long time.